Interested in bringing your ideas to life? Here at Milford TV, we give you the opportunity and resources you need to turn your content into reality. We offer memberships with access to equipment and use of our in-studio setup to allow you to get your message across in a professional manner. Or if you simply have the desire to gain hands-on experience in the field of digital media, you can become a volunteer at Milford TV, where we teach essential skills and tools that allow our members to create and tell their stories. From studio interviews, to sports coverage, to field shows, we provide the community the chance to stay informed and get involved. If you're a local company looking for an opportunity to promote your business, consider becoming a sponsor of Milford TV. We offer several sponsorship options for local business visibility during our sports broadcast as well as other areas. Whether you hope to inspire others, highlight issues you're passionate about, or would like to learn more and participate in the production process, Milford TV is the perfect place to start. Call or visit us at milfordtv.net for information on how to become a member or volunteer, and see why now is the time to join the Milford TV family. Come on over so you can be part of the action. Interested in bringing your ideas to life? Here at Milford TV, we give you the opportunity and resources you need to turn your content into reality. We offer memberships with access to equipment and use of our in-studio setup to allow you to get your message across in a professional manner. Or if you simply have the desire to gain hands-on experience in the field of digital media, you can become a volunteer at Milford TV, where we teach essential skills and tools that allow our members to create and tell their stories. From studio interviews, to sports coverage, to field shows, we provide the community the chance to stay informed and get involved. If you're a local company looking for an opportunity to promote your business, consider becoming a sponsor of Milford TV. We offer several sponsorship options for local business visibility during our sports broadcast as well as other areas. Whether you hope to inspire others, highlight issues you're passionate about, or would like to learn more and participate in the production process, Milford TV is the perfect place to start. Call or visit us at milfordtv.net for information on how to become a member or volunteer, and see why now is the time to join the Milford TV family. Come on over so you can be part of the action. Interested in bringing your ideas to life? Here at Milford TV, we give you the opportunity and resources you need to turn your content into reality. We offer memberships with access to equipment and use of our in-studio setup to allow you to get your message across in a professional manner. Or if you simply have the desire to gain hands-on experience in the field of digital media, you can become a volunteer at Milford TV, where we teach essential skills and tools that allow our members to create and tell their stories. From studio interviews, to sports coverage, to field shows, we provide the community the chance to stay informed and get involved. If you're a local company looking for an opportunity to promote your business, consider becoming a sponsor of Milford TV. We offer several sponsorship options for local business visibility during our sports broadcast as well as other areas. Whether you hope to inspire others, highlight issues you're passionate about, or would like to learn more and participate in the production process, Milford TV is the perfect place to start. Call or visit us at milfordtv.net for information on how to become a member or volunteer, and see why now is the time to join the Milford TV family. Come on over so you can be part of the action. Interested in bringing your ideas to life? Here at Milford TV, we give you the opportunity and resources you need to turn your content into reality. We offer memberships with access to equipment and use of our in-studio setup to allow you to get your message across in a professional manner. Or if you simply have the desire to gain hands-on experience in the field of digital media, you can become a volunteer at Milford TV, where we teach essential skills and tools that allow our members to create and tell their stories. From studio interviews, to sports coverage, to field shows, we provide the community the chance to stay informed and get involved. If you're a local company looking for an opportunity to promote your business, consider becoming a sponsor of Milford TV. We offer several sponsorship options for local business visibility during our sports broadcast as well as other areas. Whether you hope to inspire others, highlight issues you're passionate about, or would like to learn more and participate in the production process, Milford TV is the perfect place to start. Call or visit us at milfordtv.net for information on how to become a member or volunteer, and see why now is the time to join the Milford TV family. Come on over so you can be part of the action. Interested in bringing your ideas to life? Here at Milford TV, we give you the opportunity and resources you need to turn your content into reality. We offer memberships with access to equipment and use of our in-studio setup to allow you to get your message across in a professional manner. Or if you simply have the desire to gain hands-on experience in the field of digital media, you can become a volunteer at Milford TV, where we teach essential skills and tools that allow our members to create and tell their stories. From studio interviews, to sports coverage, to field shows, we provide the community the chance to stay informed and get involved. If you're a local company looking for an opportunity to promote your business, consider becoming a sponsor of Milford TV. We offer several sponsorship options for local business visibility during our sports broadcast as well as other areas. Whether you hope to inspire others, highlight issues you're passionate about, or would like to learn more and participate in the production process, Milford TV is the perfect place to start. Call or visit us at milfordtv.net for information on how to become a member or volunteer, and see why now is the time to join the Milford TV family. Come on over so you can be part of the action. Interested in bringing your ideas to life? Here at Milford TV, we give you the opportunity and resources you need to turn your content into reality. We offer memberships with access to equipment and use of our in-studio setup to allow you to get your message across in a professional manner. Or if you simply have the desire to gain hands-on experience in the field of digital media, you can become a volunteer at Milford TV, where we teach essential skills and tools that allow our members to create and tell their stories. From studio interviews, to sports coverage, to field shows, we provide the community the chance to stay informed and get involved. If you're a local company looking for an opportunity to promote your business, consider becoming a sponsor of Milford TV. We offer several sponsorship options for local business visibility during our sports broadcast as well as other areas. Whether you hope to inspire others, highlight issues you're passionate about, or would like to learn more and participate in the production process, Milford TV is the perfect place to start. Call or visit us at milfordtv.net for information on how to become a member or volunteer, and see why now is the time to join the Milford TV family. Come on over so you can be part of the action. Interested in bringing your ideas to life? Here at Milford TV, we give you the opportunity and resources you need to turn your content into reality. We offer memberships with access to equipment and use of our in-studio setup to allow you to get your message across in a professional manner. Or if you simply have the desire to gain hands-on experience in the field of digital media, you can become a volunteer at Milford TV, where we teach essential skills and tools that allow our members to create and tell their stories. From studio interviews, to sports coverage, to field shows, we provide the community the chance to stay informed and get involved. If you're a local company looking for an opportunity to promote your business, consider becoming a sponsor of Milford TV. We offer several sponsorship options for local business visibility during our sports broadcast as well as other areas. Whether you hope to inspire others, highlight issues you're passionate about, or would like to learn more and participate in the production process, Milford TV is the perfect place to start. Call or visit us at milfordtv.net for information on how to become a member or volunteer, and see why now is the time to join the Milford TV family. Come on over so you can be part of the action. Coverage of our Scarlet Hawks athletics on Milford TV is brought to you by the following sponsors. Our presenting sponsor, the Rail Trail Flatbread Company, a casual American dining experience with locations in Hudson and on Main Street here in Milford. Rentschler Biopharma, sponsor of our broadcast booth. Rentschler Biopharma transforms innovative ideas into life-saving biopharmaceuticals. Rentschler Biopharma, reliability you can trust. And Unibank, big bank know-how, community bank attitude. Serving the Milford community at their local branch on Prospect Street inside the Shaw's Plaza.
Hoje é 2 seu.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome inside the athletic fields here at Milford High School, as Milford TV is happy to bring you coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company. Rail Trail, a casual American dining experience specializing in an all-scratch-made kitchen featuring wood-fired flatbreads. It's an inviting atmosphere for the whole family to enjoy. You can check them out at their Hudson location or right here in downtown Milford. Milford TV Executive Director Tim Coed here with you on this Wednesday afternoon to bring you another edition of Scarlet Hawks Varsity Boys Soccer. And what a matchup we have for you here this afternoon as your Scarlet Hawks take on one of their big division rivals in the Kelly Rex. It is the Franklin Panthers coming to the Milford turf this afternoon. We bring you all of the action live from our Rentschler Biopharma broadcast booth. Rentschler Biopharma is a global contract development and manufacturing organization. They specialize in biopharmaceuticals and advanced therapies. Rentschler Biopharma, reliability you can trust. Milford comes into the matchup here this afternoon after a week of inaction. They have not played a match since September 30th. They come in with an overall record of 4-2-4, which is good for a tie for third place in the Kelly Rex division standings. Franklin, meanwhile, in second place position in the Kelly Rex. They are 5-3-2 overall on the season. Always a big rivalry between these two schools on the soccer field. This is the first meeting of the season between these two teams. Right now, the second meeting is not officially on the schedule, with those to be determined dates later on in the season. And so an opportunity to see two teams right towards the top of the Kelly Rex division standings take the field against one another here this afternoon. And not a lot separates these teams. Very similar records, very similar stats up and down these two programs. So it should be a very even battle here this afternoon as we are underway. Milford looking to attack from right to left across your screens here in first half action. And already you can feel a lot of energy on the sidelines. Again, Milford has been off for an entire week. They last played on September 30th against the Mansfield Hornets, a game that we covered for you live here on Milford TV. It was a scoreless draw between the Hawks and the Hornets. The defensive battle, Milford's defense has been solid throughout this season. Good goalkeeping as well. And looking for the offense to round into form here this afternoon as they deal this ball over towards the far sideline for Danny De Silva. That one ends up out of play. And so the Panthers will send it back in. Franklin, meanwhile, comes into this matchup off of a tie themselves. That was over the weekend in a non-conference game against Algonquin Regional High School. A 2-2 tie against Algonquin. Their last win came on September 30th at home against Stoughton, a 3-0 victory. With Milford's last outright victory back on September 27th, 2-0 against non-conference Grafton. Tossing here for the Panthers on their attacking side. Milford trying to clear it out. Marco De Silva able to send it on the move up ahead towards Brian Ribeiro. Ribeiro weaving his way up the near sideline. A little self-pass here to get this ball down deeper. And Ribeiro able to knock it out of play off of Franklin. And so Milford will have themselves an early corner kick chance here, just a couple of minutes in to this first half action. Marco De Silva will take this kick. It is pretty breezy here today. We had showers move through earlier. Now a pretty steady breeze blowing right now. It looks to be from left to right across the field as this ball comes in just out of the reach of the redirect. It looked like Guy Quaresma was there trying to redirect that ball, but it was just out of his reach, and now Franklin will collect in along the far sideline. Milford head coach Antonio Pinto, as usual, perched very close to the center line. On the Franklin side, their head coach, Nick Goldman, in his second year as the head coach of this Panthers program after taking over for, to use the word long time to describe Fran Basidas as the head coach of this Franklin program, really an understatement. 53 years Coach Basidas ran this Panthers boys soccer program. Retired prior to the 2024 season, so Coach Goldman back now for his second full season at the helm. This program did not miss a beat. Coach Goldman getting this team to a Division I semifinal performance a season ago. A Division I quarterfinal appearance a season ago, I should say. It's part of the Elite Eight teams in Division I last season. This ball takes a hard ricochet up high between Enrique Lopes for Milford and Andre Misagia for Franklin. Ethan Pramad sends this ball back towards the middle. It's picked up there by Mikey Morera, dishes over towards Mike Gonzalez, who will drift this ball back towards the middle. A little bit of a leaky pass there from Gonzalez, easily picked off by Franklin. And now Jason Prinka on the move up the far sideline for the Panthers. That ball goes out of play. I'll officially welcome in all of our viewers tuning into the coverage today. More of a gloomy day here this afternoon than what we've been accustomed to. So much summer-like weather. Much cooler conditions here today at the field. Temperature as we get underway here at 63 degrees. Fortunate that the rain moved out prior to the start of this match. As this ball comes in to the front of the Milford goal mouth and over towards the near sideline and knocked out of play. So we're live as always locally on our Milford TV educational channel, our Verizon HD channel, and streaming live on YouTube. Just a quick note to anybody who might be tuned into our educational channel for this coverage this afternoon. We don't think it will be a factor, but we do have to cut away at 6 p.m. for live coverage of Milford School Building Committee meeting. I have a feeling this match will be wrapped up by then, but just a little programming note for folks to be aware of. But should this game extend past 6 p.m., if you're joining us on the educational channel, you can feel free to grab your nearest mobile device and transition over to the YouTube live stream. Here's De Silva trying to get that ball through to Danny De Silva, almost pulled it off, but Franklin was able to deflect it away. Back down the other end of the field, Lopes tracking past the Milford bench. That ball goes out of play. Good energy on the field from these teams so far. It's been a little bit of a question mark for Milford. Certainly in the games that we have covered, we've seen sometimes the team come out with a pretty low energy level, getting caught back on their heels in the first half and then picking it up as the game goes on. We've talked about it a couple of times in our previous broadcast, but right now Milford looking energized in what is really a key division matchup. We're getting into the later stages of this regular season. Taking 2 points in this matchup from a team above you in the standings would certainly be big if Milford hopes to be a factor in the Kelly Rex division conversation. Morera feeding this ball to Marco, but just out of his reach and now out of play, as it was Deacon Eglantine with any of the Franklin staff before the match regarding any name pronunciations. So I do apologize for any of the Franklin fans tuned into the coverage if any of my name pronunciations are off. Don't always have the best instincts on my own, as many of our Milford fans know all too well. Danny De Silva mixing it up over the middle. Franklin will play this back to the D. Prinka over there for Franklin. Deals it up the far sideline. Good pass on the money to Josh Rappa. Picked back up by Marco De Silva at the center logo. About 8.5 minutes into this first half action. Scoreless early between Milford and Franklin. Such a close proximity between these two schools that, as you would expect, a lot of Franklin fans making the short drive to check out this game in person. Long toss finding Prinka, but That ball again deflects out of play. Now Enrique Lopes, short toss, finding Marco da Silva. Again, this ball getting pinned along the near sideline. Knocked out yet again, and little light hand fighting as that ball went out between Marco and number 21 for the Panthers. We don't have a 21 on our roster. We do have one player that does not have a uniform number listed on our roster, which is Gabriel Nunes, a senior, so I'm not sure if perhaps that is Nunes wearing 21. Whistle going against the Scarlet Hawks here. They will use their keeper to take the free kick. Senior Casey Flynn. Casey Flynn coming into this week had an even 1.00 goals allowed average, so very good veteran presence in net for the Panthers. The most goals Franklin has allowed in a single game this season was 3 in a 3-0 loss on the road at King Philip in their second game of the season. Other than that game, they have held teams to 2 goals or fewer. They have 4 shutout wins. They also have a scoreless draw on their record as well, so a very good defensive team with good goalkeeping. And so again, both of these teams just very similar on both sides of the ball. Both teams have been very stout defensively, have been at times light scoring, which has led to a fair amount of ties for both squads. As Brian Ribeiro here brings this ball onto the attacking side. Now a little loop pass, trying to find Mikey Morera inside the box, but that ball gets deflected out. Franklin bringing this ball back onto their attacking side, down into the corner, looking for a centering pass, but nobody there except for the starting keeper for the Scarlet Hawks, Yuri Diaz, sure-handed. We have seen the Milford girls soccer starting goalkeeper, Chloe Murdoch, sporting the neon yellow goalie look throughout this season, and now Yuri Diaz also sporting that same bright attire out on the field. It looks like Milford may have some new uniforms that they're showcasing for this game today. It looks like a different type of patterned design on the front of these red uniform tops. Milford looking to start the breakout now up the near sideline, but there are the Panthers once again. It's Eglantine over towards the near sideline. As that ball floats out of play, Franklin will toss it back in. Fast moving period here. 26 minutes and 44 seconds on this first half clock. Milford has played some fast games this season, in particular that game against Mansfield in total was only about 90 minutes long, including the break for halftime. So just very quick, but of course, a game with no goals, not a lot of stoppages of play, and tends to be a quick pace. So a lot of these defensive-minded games that Milford has played this season have had a very quick pace to them. Franklin will take a shot here from deep, and that is going to sneak in for a score from over 20 yards out. Franklin just testing Diaz, and that one slips by. And Erie would love another chance at that one as Franklin will take the lead here. It's 1-0. It was Aiden Arujo for Franklin, number 3. Just took that pass, fired it low, got all the way through inside the far post, and Diaz could not stop it. Milford calls the timeout after the goal is scored. Trying to regroup here right away. And so Franklin now with an early 1-0 lead as Milford talks it over. And so Milford doing something early in this game here this afternoon that they did not do at any point last season, and that is allow a Franklin goal. Milford swept the season series against the Panthers in the regular season last year. They won at Franklin 2-0, and they won a nail-biter here on the Milford turf in the later stages of the season, 1-0, in a game that was scoreless until right around the final 10 minutes of the second half, where Milford was able to break through with a goal. And so Milford has been able to keep this Panthers offense in check, but not the case here early, as again Arujo scores for the Panthers to give them an early 1-0 lead, and Coach Pinto trying to settle his team down right after that goal, calls the timeout, and now set to continue. Charisma pushes this ball up ahead to Marco. Immediately it gets closed in by a couple of defenders. This ball stolen away, and Franklin with speed over the middle with Ethan Pramod. Enrique Lopes guiding this ball over the goal line out of play, and we'll get a goal kick here for Diaz. Sends a short little pass over to Gianelli Cassine. They'll send it over the middle. Milford on the wrong end of that whistle as Brian Ribeiro was trying to get free. I'm not sure if perhaps the official was making a gesture there that Ribeiro might have thrown an elbow, and that contact initiated the whistle. And this time it is Franklin whistled for the foul. Mikey Morera with the header over towards the near sideline. Lopes now. Good ball handling across the middle. He'll guide it back and let Cassine try to start the breakout. Had just enough time to sneak that pass away. And now Esteves with a nice play over the middle. I beg your pardon. I believe that is the newcomer to this varsity roster, Lucas Coisy, wearing number 22. I believe a sophomore who just got brought up from the JV squad and out there now in this critical division matchup. Milford just keeping that ball in, and the ball sent in towards net by Brian Ribeiro. That was handled by Casey Flynn. 23 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in this first half. A 1-0 lead now for the Panthers. First goal allowed for Milford in 2+ games Last game in which they allowed goals scored was their last loss. That was back on September 25th, the 3-2 loss at King Philip. Follow that up with a 2-0 win against Grafton and that scoreless draw against Mansfield. But allowing a first half goal here to allow Franklin to get on the board early. And now contact. Danny De Silva getting whistled for the foul. Franklin sets up for a free kick. Lights are not on here at the turf field just yet, but some dreary skies overhead. Not sure, perhaps we might get some sunshine breaking through as this one goes on. Another ball leaking through here, and just barely Diaz able to get his fingertips around that ball to secure it. For a moment it looked like that might take a hop past him, but able to make the stop, and Diaz eventually getting back to his feet. Ball played back to the defensive line for the Panthers. Marco De Silva doing a nice job disrupting things. Sends this ball back now. There is Bruno Esteves. And now Lopes will push this ball all the way back to Quaresma. Up through the middle now. That ball could not be handled by Morera. And now again, Lopes steps in, pushes this ball on sides to Brian Ribeiro. Couldn't quite break free for a look on net, but a nice ball there for Milford. And we'll get a corner kick opportunity, the second of the half for the Scarlet Hawks. A little short pass. And now dumped towards the corner. Franklin able to deflect it out. That ball gets past Koisi, who looks to be hurt now as he stays behind on the ground as play continues over the middle. And finally now we'll get a whistle as Koisi looks to be grabbing at the right shin area. Right now getting attended to by one of his teammates, one of the officials over there as well. So far the training staff not coming out from the sideline, and it looks like Koisi will walk it off. Pauses the clock with 20 minutes and 36 seconds to go in the first half. In the midst of a full week of soccer on our Milford TV coverage. We were here on Monday for the girls taking on King Philip, in a game that started off so promisingly but ended in nightmare fashion for the girls as they dropped that game 5-1 to the Warriors. They are on the road taking on their Franklin counterparts this afternoon before they return home here to Milford on Friday to take on the Oliver Ames Tigers, and we will have that game for you live across our Milford TV platforms. Quickly getting to the end of our regular season coverage. As Milford dumps this ball down deep, Franklin able to get there first. They will loop this ball high, and it stays on the playing surface. That ball initially looks like it was going to go well out of play, but it kind of died inside the near sideline. Milford plays it back to the middle. Now Quaresma working hard. Koisi in there as well, but Franklin now takes over. You can see the speed of Lucas Koisi. He's covering a lot of ground out there. injecting himself into the action here. And it looks like he will get a rest on the sideline, but good stuff from the underclassman here in his varsity debut. He'll be replaced by Shane Kagwana. As we're past the midway point in this first half, the only goal of the game so far belongs to Aiden Arujo of the Franklin Panthers. Franklin bench all with the coats on. And again, about as cool conditions as we've had so far in what has been a very mild fall sports season. Milford getting ready to deploy Flo Kellner. Stands perched on the sideline, made some good plays in that match against Mansfield last week. As Milford clears this ball out towards the middle. It's gathered in there by the Panthers. Regrouping in the defense, and now that's Kagwana who steps in, steals this ball, and will give it a roll down into the near corner. Franklin will watch it eventually roll out of play, had just enough to cross that boundary line. And now Kellner will come onto the field. He will give Brian Ribeiro a breather here with now 17:38 to go in the first half. Flynn with the goal kick. Takes a hard ricochet off the foot of Jake Boyd, a sophomore. And now physical play along the near sideline for Marco Da Silva. Able to win this ball, gets it over towards Mikey Moreira. Loses that size battle one-on-one against Cam Lambert. And loses the possession. And now Franklin working their way up the far sideline, but Cassine has other ideas. And eventually the ball winds up out of play. Driven downfield now by Henry George. Hard deflection off of Lope's body. Moreira jumps into the play, and now Milford will look to start it with the defense. Feeding this ball up in the direction of Marco Da Silva, but that connection did not quite make it. Slide for Milford effective there. Now that ball angled towards Kellner. It's out of his reach. Now Milford will set off a foot race with Da Silva alongside number 11 for Franklin. That is Ethan Pramod. Esteves will let this ball go out of play in front of his own bench, sends it in. And now a little touch from Marco Da Silva goes out of play. Milford trying to keep the communication up out on the field, as Franklin will send this ball in to the box. Diaz makes the play and then rolls this ball out the short route to his defense, and now across the field, Danny Da Silva trying to get this settled down. Finally does, and now shoots a pass up the far sideline for Flo Kellner. Kellner will send this ball over the middle, but the defense there and waiting for the Panthers. This ball is going to get past Cassine on the other end of the field, and then eventually picked up by the keeper, Yuri Diaz. And send that ball out of play. New ball here for Diaz. Diaz taking his time now. Gets a lot under that ball. Franklin deflection, and now Moreira trying to find options. Goes with Esteves on the near sideline. Marco now, good footwork as always. Weaves a little pass towards Lopes, so good play in motion there for Milford. They just could not hit Mikey Moreira, who had a lot of space in front of him, but Franklin able to make the play to deflect that ball and sniff out the chance. Substitutions here on the Franklin side, and again, a lot of Panther fans here at the Milford turf cheering on the play of Will McCauley, who will take a rest here on the sideline. McCauley, according to the stats that we were able to take a look at from HockomockSports.com, the top scorer on this Panthers offense. As this ball is misplayed by Quaresma, he'll get another chance here. Able to get Milford a little bit more space, but Jax Poverman for Franklin, playing that ball over towards the far sideline before it eventually goes out of play. It'll be the Panthers who will toss back in on their attacking side with less than 13 minutes to go now in the half. Coach Pinto continuing to change up the personnel out there. Danny De Silva will get a rest, as Marco De Silva is able to clear this ball past the center circle. And now Brian Ribeiro trying to make something happen. And now Enrique Lopes getting tangled up with Poverman. Draws the whistle. Franklin with a quick restart. And Franklin fires in a strike towards the near post that's handled by Diaz. Shot taken by Pramod. And that ball does not make it over in the vicinity of Brian Ribeiro. More substitutions on the Franklin side. Large coaching staff for this Panthers team. Coach Nick Goldman, along with 3 assistant coaches. Ball quickly finding its way in towards Casey Flynn. Clears it out of harm's way. Back across the middle here as we drop inside 11 minutes to play in the half. Another whistle. Milford will have a free kick just inside their attacking side. Kellner trying to move the ball along with a header. Mikey Moreira jamming away right in front of the goal. And now this one drifts in, and a one-handed stop and then a catch for Flynn, as Milford just kept hammering away at that ball, eventually able to send it towards net. Flynn was caught a little bit surprised and looked to be a little perturbed with his teammates there for not clearing that ball out, but he was able to make the stop, hold on, and now Franklin will toss in on the far sideline. One of the better offensive chances that Milford has had all half. Not a lot of traffic in front of Casey Flynn so far in this game. inside of the final 10 minutes of this first half. Bruno Esteves, soft feed to Caguana. And now Lopes will push this ball ahead to Ribeiro. He'll track it down, and the centering pass drifts just over the net and rolls down the back out of play. Such a tough angle for Ribeiro, and nearly drove that ball in on goal. Almost parallel to the net, but sent that ball around behind. Milford wins it over the middle. Back to Marco da Silva. And now this ball comes in and just wide to the near side as Milford tries their luck from longer range. Looks like Danny da Silva will check back into this game. And we didn't have a chance to confirm anything with the coaching staff on the Milford side before the game, but noticing the absence on the Milford side of Mateus de Jesus. It's been a spark plug at times for this offense, so I'm not sure if perhaps de Jesus is injured, and that necessitated the call up for Lucas Coisy. Deep toss in here for Mikey. And down at the feet of Kellner and da Silva. And Franklin able to clear this ball out. Another intriguing chance for Milford inside the box. They can't finish. And this will take us down towards 7 minutes to play. The only goal in this half belongs to the Panthers. Milford creating some chances here in the late stages. Here's Danny da Silva on the move. He'll send this ball across the field. Kellner trying to get there before it goes out of play. He does, and then feeds it towards Ribeiro. Now a touchback to Esteves. Danny da Silva trying to send that ball down with a header. It ends up out of play, and Milford trying to push the tempo here, knowing that time is winding down in the half. Flynn sending a short pass over to Deacon Eglantine. Gianelli Cassine over to Quaresma. Ball taking a hard ricochet off of Ribeiro's foot, getting momentarily tangled up with, I think it was Caguana. And now Quaresma with a hard boot. The deflection nearly came to da Silva. Franklin able to poke it away, and then Milford gets whistled for the foul. All the way down into the near corner here for the Panthers, to be played by Jax Poverman, but the ball sent out of play by the Scarlet Hawks. Franklin changing up who they have over there for the toss. Less than 5 minutes to play in the half. Josh Rappa tossing this ball in for the Panthers. Milford deflects it out. This ball eludes Kellner. And now Milford able to get it clear. And a nice play on that deflection by Pramadas. That ball was ticketed towards a wide open Danny De Silva. Milford with the toss in. Quaresma over towards Enrique Lopes, who sends this ball down. Ribeiro now trying to get there. Gets this ball back, and then a pass that was deflected on the way over to Mikey Morera. He has to come to it. Mikey now to the edge of the box. Caguana could not settle it down. Now Lopes gets the ball on his foot. And tries to go between a couple of defenders, and he does draw the contact. Big free kick here for the Scarlet Hawks.
Look at the keeper!
Morera, Lopes, and Caguana all hovering around this kick. And it's Morera who blasts it in on goal, but it is smothered by Casey Flynn. Makes the save and keeps the Franklin lead intact with 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go in first half action. Franklin goes the length of the field. Milford watches this ball take a roll out of play. Starting to see a few breaks in the cloud cover. Maybe we'll get a little bit of sunshine for the second half of this game. Lopes, tough pass there, pulled in by Davy De Oliveira. And now Ribeiro over the middle, trying to release a shot. Gets knocked to the ground, no whistle on that contact. And the game clock frozen now, less than 2 minutes to play. A lot of physicality across the middle. A foul on Milford. Long kick, deflected away by the height of Guy Quaresma, and then sent back to the corner by Franklin along the near sideline, reeled in by the Panthers. Delivered in towards the box. Quaresma clears it out. And now Danny De Silva with a pass along the far sideline finds Brian Ribeiro. Ribeiro will send this ball in and just out of the reach of Davy De Oliveira, who was crashing in towards that near post. It was a great play that developed. An excellent pass out in front of the net, and you could see the frustration from De Oliveira. He knew he was just a hair late there. And what would have very likely tied this game up. Instead, it stays a 1-0 lead for the Panthers in the closing moments of this first half. And there is the whistle. So Milford with some better pressure towards the end of this half. A frustrating goal allowed right around the midway point of this first half to Aiden Arujo from more than 20 yards out that just snuck beyond the reach of Yuri Diaz, and that allows the Panthers to go into halftime with the 1-0 lead. So if you're joining us on our live coverage, we will break here for the 10-minute halftime. And then we'll be back with second half coverage as we bring you all the action live from our Rentschler Biopharma broadcast booth. Again, 1-0 Franklin on top of Milford as you enjoy this coverage of Milford High School varsity boys soccer here on Milford TV, presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company.
Interested in bringing your ideas to life? Here at Milford TV, we give you the opportunity and resources you need to turn your content into reality. We offer memberships with access to equipment and use of our in-studio setup to allow you to get your message across in a professional manner. Or if you simply have the desire to gain hands-on experience in the field of digital media, you can become a volunteer at Milford TV, where we teach essential skills and tools that allow our members to create and tell their stories. From studio interviews, to sports coverage, to field shows, we provide the community the chance to stay informed and get involved. If you're a local company looking for an opportunity to promote your business, consider becoming a sponsor of Milford TV. We offer several sponsorship options for local business visibility during our sports broadcast as well as other areas. Whether you hope to inspire others, highlight issues you're passionate about, or would like to learn more and participate in the production process, Milford TV is the perfect place to start. Call or visit us at milfordtv.net for information on how to become a member or volunteer, and see why now is the time to join the Milford TV family. Come on over so you can be part of the action. Interested in bringing your ideas to life? Here at Milford TV, we give you the opportunity and resources you need to turn your content into reality. We offer memberships with access to equipment and use of our in-studio setup to allow you to get your message across in a professional manner. Or if you simply have the desire to gain hands-on experience in the field of digital media, you can become a volunteer at Milford TV, where we teach essential skills and tools that allow our members to create and tell their stories. From studio interviews, to sports coverage, to field shows, we provide the community the chance to stay informed and get involved. If you're a local company looking for an opportunity to promote your business, consider becoming a sponsor of Milford TV. We offer several sponsorship options for local business visibility during our sports broadcast as well as other areas. Whether you hope to inspire others, highlight issues you're passionate about, or would like to learn more and participate in the production process, Milford TV is the perfect place to start. Call or visit us at milfordtv.net for information on how to become a member or volunteer, and see why now is the time to join the Milford TV family. Come on over so you can be part of the action. Interested in bringing your ideas to life? Here at Milford TV, we give you the opportunity and resources you need to turn your content into reality. We offer memberships with access to equipment and use of our in-studio setup to allow you to get your message across in a professional manner. Or if you simply have the desire to gain hands-on experience in the field of digital media, you can become a volunteer at Milford TV, where we teach essential skills and tools that allow our members to create and tell their stories. From studio interviews, to sports coverage, to field shows, we provide the community the chance to stay informed and get involved. If you're a local company looking for an opportunity to promote your business, consider becoming a sponsor of Milford TV. We offer several sponsorship options for local business visibility during our sports broadcast as well as other areas. Whether you hope to inspire others, highlight issues you're passionate about, or would like to learn more and participate in the production process, Milford TV is the perfect place to start. Call or visit us at milfordtv.net for information on how to become a member or volunteer, and see why now is the time to join the Milford TV family. Come on over so you can be part of the action. Interested in bringing your ideas to life? Here at Milford TV, we give you the opportunity and resources you need to turn your content into reality. We offer memberships with access to equipment and use of our in-studio setup to allow you to get your message across in a professional manner. Or if you simply have the desire to gain hands-on experience in the field of digital media, you can become a volunteer at Milford TV, where we teach essential skills and tools that allow our members to create and tell their stories. From studio interviews, to sports coverage, to field shows, we provide the community the chance to stay informed and get involved. If you're a local company looking for an opportunity to promote your business, consider becoming a sponsor of Milford TV. We offer several sponsorship options for local business visibility during our sports broadcast as well as other areas. Whether you hope to inspire others, highlight issues you're passionate
Coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics on Milford TV is brought to you in part by Unibank, Big Bank Know-How, Community Bank Attitude. They serve the Milford community at their local branch on Prospect Street. That's right inside the Shaw's Plaza. Coverage is also brought to you in part by Rentschler Biopharma, proud sponsor of our broadcast booth. Together with their partners, Rentschler Biopharma transforms innovative ideas into life-saving biopharmaceuticals. Rentschler Biopharma, reliability you can trust. And our presenting sponsor of Scarlet Hawks Athletics on Milford TV is the Rail Trail Flatbread Company. Just stopped in to Rail Trail last night to sample some of the items on their new fall menu. Absolutely delicious stuff. The pumpkin trifle in particular right now is an absolute must-have over at Rail Trail. We just unveiled some of the fall menu items for Rail Trail on our most recent edition of the Milford Informer, where we had Chef Louis take us inside the Rail Trail kitchen here in Milford to make some of those fall menu items for us, show them off for our camera so you can catch that running on our October edition of the Milford Informer. Again, make sure you head down to Rail Trail either in Hudson or in Milford. All kinds of absolutely delicious items on their menu. Getting ready to settle in now for second half action in this varsity boys soccer matchup between your Milford Scarlet Hawks and the visiting Franklin Panthers. Franklin currently owns a 1-0 lead, courtesy of a goal from senior Aiden Arujo on a long strike early on in the first half. Both teams with a smattering of opportunities as that first half went on, but nothing particularly dangerous on either side. It's been a defensive battle for the most part. And again, that one goal scored by Franklin was a long-range goal, more of a check-in on net that just snuck underneath Yuri Diaz. The shot that he makes the save on 9 times out of 10, unfortunately, misjudged that ball, and that is the difference in the game right now, as Milford looks to attack from left to right now across your screens in second half action. These two teams really fought it out in the later stages of the second half last year for the Kelly Rex Division title. Milford came agonizingly close. They ended up missing out on the title by just 2 points. Right now, both of these teams looking up at the King Philip Warriors, who are all alone in the Kelly Rex lead right now. They are 6-2-3 overall on the season with 12 points in league play, 1 point ahead of Franklin, and 4 points right now ahead of Milford. So Milford really needing to collect some division points. But right now, needing to take it one goal at a time here, trying to knot this one up. This ball dumped in now by Henry George for the Panthers, and now this ball sent deep by Mikey Morera and almost sneaking past the keeper. De Silva was right there trying to chip that ball past Casey Flynn to make a play at the wide open net. Franklin able to deflect it aside. Now here is Mike Gonzalez fighting along the near sideline. This ball will make its way to Marco De Silva, trying to center this ball up, and that one just wide to the far side on a chance for Brian Ribeiro. And Milford putting some pressure on here in the early stages of this second half. Marco De Silva, an outstanding centering pass, took one hop right to Ribeiro, who came crashing in, and his shot just wide beyond the far post. Ribeiro frustrated after that play. Brian coming into action today, 3 goals on 2 assists. Would have loved to have seen his 4th goal of the season right there, but instead we remain with Franklin in front 1-0. Panthers with a free kick just outside of the midfield line. Picked back up here by Milford. Danny De Silva down to the turf. Enrique Lopes drives this ball in. Cassine was there to make the play, but offsides. Flynn with the goal kick. Milford able to dump it right back in, and now Mikey Morera, with a little feed over towards the far side. And now this ball floats in past De Silva all the way into Flynn, who has to smother it. And right now, Milford with a flurry of scoring chances. Quaresma deals it over towards the far sideline. Bruno Esteves finds Morera. He'll send it back to the D. And good passing for the Panthers as they shoot this ball up the middle. On the move for Josh Rappa. The defense collapses in over in the far corner as that ball is knocked away from Luke Fallon, a sophomore. Milford will have the toss. 33 minutes and 45 seconds on the second half clock. De Silva pushing that ball out of play along the far sideline. So the full Kelly Rec standings, it is KP alone in first place, Franklin alone in second, Milford right now in a third place tie with Attleboro, both with 8 league points. Then it is the Sharon Eagles in fifth place. They have 6 points. They're 2-3-4 overall on the season. And then the Taunton Tigers having a tough season. They are just 1-11 overall. And they have yet to claim any points in league competition. Meanwhile, the competition for Milford does not get any easier as the week goes on, as they will match up with the Davenport division-leading Oliver Ames Tigers in a road game on Friday. Oliver Ames is unbeaten on the season. They're 6-0-3 overall. They have a 1-point edge on the Stoughton Black Knights in the Davenport. Mansfield in the mix as well. They are 3 points off the lead. Milford pushes this ball into the box, but an easy pickup for Flynn. As conditions continue to brighten here around the field. Some sun now starting to splash across the Milford logo at the center of this turf field. This ball comes in deep. Milford with just enough time to get that away. And now Lopes with some fancy footwork and then gets a little shove. Here's Marco De Silva. Loses control of that ball in front of the Milford bench. Now tries to get back into the play as Will McCauley pushes this ball back. Franklin gets the clear, and now Milford sends it back the other way. And the header out of play by George will give Milford the toss in. Marco will one touch to Enrique Lopes, and then the whistle ends it for the Scarlet Hawks. Free kick released by the Panthers. Up ahead towards Will McCauley. Picked up now by Mikey Moreira. Esteves now working hard over towards the far sideline. Dumped ahead by Ribeiro. Trying to connect with Danny De Silva, but Franklin intercepts. Long pass finds De Silva. Danny, good footwork as he connects with Marco De Silva. And now here's Mikey Moreira trying to center this ball up out of the reach of Ribeiro and out of play. Substitutions coming in for Franklin as we're more than 10 minutes in now to the second half action. Scoreboard unchanged. As it stands right now, we have just one more regular season boys soccer game on our coverage calendar. That's coming up on October 15th against the last place Taunton Tigers. And then we'll see how things shake out for potential postseason play. Meanwhile, free kick here coming up for the Panthers. Back around the 40-yard line on the Franklin attacking side. A little more than 28 minutes on the second half clock. This ball takes a hop past Diaz and out of play. It's going to give the Panthers now a corner kick chance. Diaz can't believe it. He didn't think he made contact with that ball, but the officials saw it differently. And now they will give Diaz the goal kick. Looked like the signal from the official initially was for the corner. Franklin poking this ball out of Milford's reach. This one will go out of play off towards the visiting bleachers. Milford came out strong in the second half, had about 3 high-quality scoring chances in that first 10 minutes. The defenses have clamped down yet again. Good play there by Cassine. And now the long boot upfield towards Marco De Silva. Tracks it to the corner, gets clear of a defender, centers it up, and again just could not connect with Brian Ribeiro, who was right point blank range in front of the goal. And now Franklin able to get the clear up the far sideline. That ball will take a hop out of play. Marco De Silva has created a couple of high quality scoring chances for Milford in the second half. Great passes in towards net, and Milford's just not been able to find that finishing touch in front of the goal. So something that has plagued Milford this season. Season ago, Gio Capelli, with so many big goals for this team, had 11 goals over the course of that 2024 season. So we seem to be in the right place at the right time for a key goal when Milford needed it. They have not had that same kind of finishing touch this year. And now, meanwhile, Franklin with an aggressive play here in the box, trying to get clear. Good hard work here for Enrique Lopes, as now this ball ends up out of play. Milford will toss it in. Lopes really bailing Milford out there, as for a moment it looked like Luke Fallon was going to have a pretty good look at the Milford net. Mikey Morera struggling to keep control there, ended up knocking that ball out of play off of the Panthers, and now sends a long toss on target to Danny De Silva. Tries to turn toward the middle of the field. Now it's Lopes walking the tightrope up that near sideline. Ball back out of play. And meanwhile, a little disagreement as to which side would toss that ball back in. You could see Henry George trying to snatch that ball away from Milford. And now they do change the call for a Panthers toss. And again, teams disagree for who gets the toss. This time it will be Milford. Mikey Morera ready to send that ball back into play. With a little more than 23 minutes remaining, sends that over the reach of Kellner. Now here's De Silva, tries to redirect that ball towards the far post. Crazy bicycle kick from Mikey Morera to try to send that ball back in for a scoring chance. Now dumped in by Cassine, moved along, trying to find Kellner, but this ball takes a hop into the hands of Casey Flynn. Milford creating all of the scoring chances in the second half, but needing the finish. Here's Marco De Silva again. Bounces off of contact, and that ball looked to hit the cleats of Henry George as it went out of play. And indeed, Milford will have the corner kick. And you can see the flag over in this near corner really whipping, so some breeze for Milford to contend with here in their first corner kick of the second half. It's Kellner, he redirects it, it bounces off the crossbar. Milford tries to send it back in, and now the second chance effort is there, and Milford scores to tie this game at 1. It looks like Enrique Lopes, hard to tell now as the entire roster comes over to mob him along the near sideline. Milford extending that chance. The first redirect was unsuccessful, but finally Milford able to get it done. And so Enrique Lopes with a great play to tie this game up at 1 with 21:57 to go. And a vintage Milford boys soccer goal celebration after that big play, and you just started to feel like it was only a matter of time for Milford. Again, as we've talked about, they've had virtually all the chances in the second half. They stuck with it, and now here's Marco De Silva again sending this ball in deep. And you could see Coach Pinto trying to get his team refocused in, especially on that toss in. Everyone had started going in the other direction, trying to get bodies upfield, and unfortunately Milford not able to react quite quickly enough to get a body in towards net on that centering pass from Marco De Silva, who again has been the architect of a lot of the offensive chances that Milford has had in the second half. was his initial corner kick that was sent in that led to the game-tying goal. And so here we are, Milford 1 and Franklin 1. With just over 20 minutes remaining in the second half. This is the kind of game that fans were hoping for with these two teams. This play stays on sides for De Silva. Able to send that ball on net. Great control from Marco. It floated into the hands of Flynn. And Gonzalez gets bumped off this ball, and now a whistle there, way too much contact. Milford needing to manage the emotions here. They've gotten themselves back into it, but needing to stay laser focused. Here's Quaresma now. Some room over the middle, keeps this ball on the ground, hits Danny De Silva. And Kellner hoping to receive that pass. It doesn't get to him. Instead, the Panthers take over. Nice attempt there for Morera as he slid in. Now here comes Enrique Lopes, fresh off of a critical goal. Now this ball looped in, looking for the redirect for De Silva. He tried to angle that ball in towards Kellner. Now he'll take the shot. It hits off the crossbar and then just out of Kellner's reach again. De Silva with a great shot. Took a hop off the crossbar and straight down, but did not go in. And then Franklin able to clear it out. Frustration there for De Silva as he had a great look at the net. Went to elevate that shot on Flynn and sent it just a little bit too high. Kellner with the hard redirect off the header right into the hands of the keeper, Casey Flynn. Feels like all the momentum is with Milford right now, but in a tied game, that can change in a heartbeat. Seven minutes and 53 seconds to go in the second half. De Silva deflects this ball. Marco De Silva to Danny De Silva. And then up ahead, and Franklin will maintain positioning to let that ball go out of play. And substitutions coming in now on both sides. Brian Ribeiro and Lucas Coisy return onto the field. Enrique Lopes will get a rest here on the sideline, as will Danny De Silva. Both of those players with excellent work in the second half to tie this game up. And certainly style points as well for Enrique Lopes on that goal celebration. Fortunate that the flag in that near corner survived. Now here's Kellner. He takes the shot and sends it off the side of the goal. And another close call for Milford. Boy, this game could easily be 3-1 Milford right now with the kind of chances that they've had. 16:40 on the second half clock. Tossing here for the Panthers, who have not had much activity in front of the Milford net here for virtually this entire second half. Here's Ribeiro now. Ribeiro cuts back to the middle, feeds this up ahead, looking for Coisy, who was unable to receive that pass, and now on the move is Jake Boyd for the Panthers. It's one right back by Shane Kagwana. A lot of play along the near sideline for a Franklin toss-in. As we mentioned, both of the head-to-head meetings between these two teams last season were very close games. Just 3 total goals scored in those two matchups. All 3 were for Milford. It's not quite as low scoring the season before, as Milford sends that ball over the bleachers and completely out of the field. In the 2023 season series between these teams, it was a sweep for Franklin. They blanked Milford in Franklin 3-0 and then dropped 7 goals on the Scarlet Hawks here on their home turf. But overall, the head-to-head meetings have tipped in Milford's favor as we track them back to the 2018 season. Overall, Milford is 8-2-2 in that time frame against Franklin. So they have had a lot of success against this Panthers program. Back over the middle now for Kagwana. Looking for options and ends up on his backside as Franklin tries to move the ball the other way. Enrique Lopes back out on the field for Milford. Mike Gonzalez deflecting that ball out of play, managed to clip Franklin on the way out. Kagwana will get a rest here on the sidelines. Cassine with the toss in. And great lift there for Morera on the header. It'll be Franklin who will toss in. He parts his teammates on the sideline to give himself some extra runway. And now this ball angled on a header, one bounce and an easy handle for Yuri Diaz. And I think that is the first time that Diaz has touched the ball in the second half. As they try to spring Kellner free up in front of the Franklin goal. Morera pestering as the defense tries to move this ball forward for Franklin. Able to get it to midfield, but it's one back now by Lopes. Twists and turns around. Loses his footing. No whistle. As we are all the way down to 12 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the second half. What is now a tied game. Cassine trying to thread that pass in towards Morera. Pushed ahead now for Franklin by Jason Prenka. Ribeiro now brings it back towards the middle of the field. Trying to find Marco da Silva, but it's intercepted by Pramod. Now Marco finding Ribeiro. And Marco sends this in towards Kellner, and Kellner with the header that is just wide to the far side again. How many times has Milford gotten a feed and sent it just wide in the second half? Agonizingly close time and time again to taking the lead. Milford fighting now. As Coisy had that ball knocked away out of play. The Milford bench really giving their teammates out on the field a lift here. Everyone is fully engaged on their feet. Mikey Morera now looking to toss this ball in. 10.5 minutes to go. Trying to get it to the height advantage for Kellner. And now it's Esteves who will dump it back in, but Franklin collects from there. Out of play along the far sideline as we're about to drop under the 10-minute mark. The players on the sideline looking for every bit of energy to come out of these Milford stands. In deep again, Kellner elevates, redirects that ball wide to the near side and out of play. Danny Da Silva and Shane Caguana return to the field. And Kellner will come off here. And meanwhile, Coach Pinto wants to talk things over. He calls a timeout, stops the clock with 9 minutes and 19 seconds to go. Wanting to make sure his team is focused in. But at the same time, you almost wonder if it's doing Franklin a favor here to call a timeout to give the Panthers a chance to regroup. It was a little surprising to not see at any point Coach Goldman call a timeout on the Franklin side, as it has been tilted so heavily in Milford's favor throughout the second half. But a chance for both of these teams to huddle up again with just over 9 minutes remaining on the second half clock. Milford looking to find the right formula to finish off one of the many chances they have had here throughout this second half. Try to claim 2 points here today. Again, they've been involved in a lot of ties this season. 4 ties so far, including their previous game, which was a little over a week ago against Mansfield, a scoreless tie. A 1-1 draw against Canton, another scoreless tie against Attleboro earlier this season, and then a 2-2 tie against Stoughton. We've covered 3 of those tied games, including the 2 scoreless draws. Getting some goals in this one today. Milford hoping that they've got at least one more in them here over the course of these final 9 minutes. Team's back on the field now after the timeout. Meanwhile, the goal for Enrique was his 4th now, his 2nd, I beg your pardon, of the season. Here he is here, able to clear this ball out. Gets knocked along by Franklin in the wrong direction. Now they gather back in across the middle. Danny Da Silva surprises Guy Quaresma with that pass. Caught him hard in the midsection. Caguana now Long crossing pass trying to hit Marco da Silva. He'll track it to the corner. And now a hard ricochet off of Brian Ribeiro and out. Ribeiro argues. But Pramod will toss it in here for the Panthers. Milford collapses in as the pass comes out over the middle. Danny Da Silva now steps into the action. He wins this ball back. Can't get enough on the pass, and it's taken back over by Prenka. He'll push it over the middle. Quaresma will guide this ball back to the Milford keeper. Rather than picking it up, sends a quick pass over towards Bruno Esteves, but this comes back in towards the box. And now Franklin a little too casual, and Mikey Moreira a chance to move this one along for Milford. Reeled back in by the Franklin defense. And now Gonzalez and Lopes both closing in on the near sideline. Now Ribeiro trying to weave through four defenders. Takes this ball in towards the near post. He loses his footing. Milford is clamoring for a whistle. And instead, the whistle goes against the Scarlet Hawks. And there seemed to be some definite contact there for Zach O'Mahony Sullivan against Ribeiro that went uncalled. So, reason for some frustration there for the Milford fans. Ticking down to 6 minutes on the second half clock. Quaresma over the middle, but it's Prenka who will try to get it started for Franklin. Back to Moreira now. This play on sides to Da Silva. He carries in. And a slide tackle for Franklin. And then good work for the Panthers. And now the yellow card issued to Danny Da Silva. And just some undisciplined play there for Danny. He had a good chance. Franklin made the good defensive play to poke that ball away. And then Danny in some frustration with just some unnecessary contact there. And now he'll come to the sidelines. There was little doubt that the card was going to be issued there. And a little frustration showing through here for Milford as, again, they've been creating so many opportunities for themselves and just have not had the finish. And so another timeout is called here, stopping the clock with 5 minutes and 30 seconds to go. You can feel the importance of this game. Both of these teams want to be able to take the full 2 points. And so again, with the pause in the action, we'll bring up our remaining October schedule one more time for you. So again, we'll close out this week with girls soccer action, with Milford hosting Oliver Ames on Friday at 4 p.m. Then next week we've got 2 games. We'll be back in the gym for girls volleyball against Attleboro on October 14th, followed by our final regular season coverage of this boys soccer team on October 15th as they host the Taunton Tigers. And right now we have girls volleyball scheduled for October 22nd. That game a little bit in flux right now due to some scheduling complications for our staff. So we'll see if we can still come through with that coverage of girls volleyball in that late regular season matchup against Taunton. And then our final regular season coverage for this fall sports season will be on Thursday, October 30th, with the Milford football team hosting their Franklin counterparts, a 6 p.m. kickoff, and that Milford football team needing to get themselves back on track after a tough loss here at home 2 weeks ago against Natick. They followed that up with another lopsided defeat on the road against Barnstable last Friday. One more road game coming up and then a bye week before they return here to Milford for that game right at the end of October. But meanwhile, focusing back in on this boys soccer action, here's Kellner. Could not settle that ball down. Now Marco Da Silva battling towards the near sideline. And Mikey Moreira picks that ball up but then fires it out of play. Franklin with the toss in hostile territory right in front of the Milford bench as the clock now freezes as we drop under 5 minutes to play. Marco again working hard along that near sideline, feeds it, and Mikey could not get there before that ball traveled out of play. Goal kick here for the Panthers. Flynn sending this ball right to the center logo, knocked back in by Enrique. And now played on by Esteves. Milford. It's Brian Ribeiro who comes in from the far side over the middle, has that ball knocked away. Mike Gonzalez can't settle it for Milford, and now here comes Franklin on the attack. Good speed here for Josh Rappa as he takes it all alone, has 3 defenders around. And another costly whistle here goes against Milford. Both players were tangled up. The officials make the judgment call to blow that whistle against Milford. Lopes frustrated after the whistle, so a big free kick here for the Panthers. Looks like it will be O'Mahony Sullivan. Also Andre Misagia. Over there it will be O'Mahony Sullivan. Sends it into a crowd. Milford doesn't have the clear yet. They send it over towards the far sideline and out. Franklin will toss it back in. Inside of the final 5 minutes, Franklin has seen almost no time in front of the Milford net in the second half, but a free kick there, and now they'll toss it in from the far side. As Shane Kagwana now is shaken up. He will come off the field here as he is holding on to the side of his face. And so Lucas Coisy checks back into the game. Now the toss comes in. Milford is able to knock it to the edge of the box, and then a whiff for Franklin gives Marco Da Silva a chance to play this ball upfield. Deflection out of play. And now the toss back into Moreira. Nifty little self pass. Now the ball open in the middle of the field. And body sliding in as everyone is in desperation mode here to make a key play. And this ball dumped in, but too far out in front. And Flynn makes the play. Rolled that ball far out, almost daring Milford to come in and try to crash in to make the play, but able to clear that ball out. Franklin will now toss in on the far side. Final moments here of the second half. Now this ball comes in loose, and Diaz gets knocked down. And Diaz in a little bit of pain, now gets back to his feet. Time running out here. As Quaresma will take this kick. Maybe a chance for one more look at the Franklin net if Milford can make something happen here. Franklin sends this ball over to the far sideline. Milford keeps it alive. And now a free kick for the Scarlet Hawks. Everyone coming up into position. Moreira will take the kick. Sends it in. Deflected out of play, and a corner kick now over on the far side for Milford. Will this be the last play of the game here? Marco Da Silva will take the corner kick. And Brian Ribeiro leaps, looking for the redirect. He sends it wide to the near side of the Franklin goal, and it is indeed the final play of the game. And so Milford able to get a goal here in the second half to tie the score. And you know the Scarlet Hawks would have loved to come away from this match with 2 points. Unfortunately, they will settle for 1. And it'll be another tied game for the Scarlet Hawks as this one ends in a 1-1 draw. So Milford will improve their record to 4-2-5 now on the season. Their 5th tie of the year. Franklin's record will now stand at 5-3-3. And so with both teams taking a point, Franklin will improve to 12 points now on the season. Milford at 9 points. So we'll see how everything shakes out by day's end around the Kelly Rex division. But unfortunately for Milford, not able to earn the outright victory, but at least able to get a critical goal here in the second half, courtesy of Enrique Lopes. He picks up his 2nd goal of the season as part of this tie for Milford. So again, we will close out our coverage week on Friday here on the turf, with the girls soccer team in action against the Oliver Ames Tigers. Meanwhile, this boys soccer team will travel out on the road to Easton to take on OA in another critical matchup against a very talented Oliver Ames Tigers team. We certainly wish the boys luck as they travel out on the road, and we hope you will join us on Friday for that girls soccer action. It'll be our final regular season girls soccer action as Milford hosts Oliver Ames. But that's going to wrap things up here for this afternoon. A big thank you to our Milford TV crew helping make this coverage happen tonight. Patrick Garapi, and also one of our newest volunteers, Andrew Perella, helping out on camera for today's game. And I am Tim Coet, bringing you this action live from our Rentschler Biopharma broadcast booth. That final score, one final time. It's a 1-1 draw between Milford and Franklin. This has been a presentation of Milford High School Athletics here on Milford TV, presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company. So long, everybody.